You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, let's start first the regarding the Appian, what Appian is and what is the current market position of this Appian, and I mean what kind of difficulties, and is there any difficulties or the hard, I mean coding is very much difficult in Appian and all, and uh, how is the demand for Appian, and then how it works, what are the features we have in Appian, everything. Okay, so as someone has already mentioned, right, if you wanted to automate some of your process and you want it in a faster way, reduce your processing time, that uh, Appian is for you, and then you can do it everything in this one, right? And it will be very low code, and you don't have to go much coding here. So we will talk about the BPM and the Appian, what's market position, what is a low code and Appian fitment, data and process, object and component, architecture showcase, and the workflow in the questions and sessions. So first of all, we talk about the BPM. What is the BPM? And it's a business process model and notations. So you see this one, right? If you remember, in our colleges, we might have designed a flow chart and all, right? How a set of tasks can be completed using a flow chart, isn't it? Like you will be having some start position, and then from there you will have some set of tasks to be performed, then there will be some decision to be taken, and then once you do everything, and then there will be some end event, right? So this is how we can do. If you take this example for the online shopping, that customer can have, we can think about it like we have the online shopping, they have the start event, and then from the start event they are sending some offer to the customers. Customer can either accept it or reject it, the offer. If they accept, they can do their shopping, select the offers, and then do some confirmation, send payment, receive the invoice and all. So this is a set of work that we do in the business process management tool. So this is what is called in our app called process modeling. So whatever screen you will be designing, whatever logic you will be implementing, you can utilize them within a process model to define a workflow from where you want to start and till where you want to go and complete the set of tasks. Okay. So it's very easy to develop in process modeling in Appian. Everything is drag and drop, and you don't have to write many codes there. It's all the configuration thing is there. So like suppose if you want to configure and write to data store entity smart service. So we all these boxes you see here, right? In process model we call that smart services. So smart services are the objects which is allow you to take some action and perform some action on the data that you have. Like for example, if you want to store some data to your database, we have a right to data store entity smart service, right? And you don't have to write any code um, to save your data to your database. You just need to know what is the data you want to write and what is the entity you want, and which entity you want to write, right? So you just configure two things: pass your data, pass your entity config, uh, and then done. You don't have to write any code for to write the data to your database. So these are the kind of objects we have. Many objects we have, I mean, smart services we have in Appian. Okay. Okay. So Appian right now, Appian is leading the market in terms of the BPM tool. It has a lot of demand in like all the like finance companies, like major banks in US, UK, Germany. They all are using Appian. The pharma companies are using Appian. One second, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean it's a globally leader, in Appian is currently in the market, and uh, the thing is that if you talk about the other BPM tools, they have like they come with a different packages. Like for development, you have to take the some different packages. For database, you have to take the different packages. For licensing and many other things like admin console, you have to take a different packages. But Appian comes with the one complete set of package with different suites. So we will be looking into how an Appian looks like, and how what are the different suites that we have in Appian. Okay. Um, so recently in last two releases, and Appian also comes with, in a year it comes with a 4 releases. Like for each quarter it will release one new uh, application for, I mean, some enhancement will be done on this Appian and all. So Appian basically comes with the two features. One is the on cloud and another is the on premise, right? So most of the companies now are using the on premise. There are certain few companies which have a lot of security processes, so they are using the on cloud. Otherwise, 90% companies are using on cloud, not on premise. Okay. Okay, so you already know, right? It's a low code Appian. See, it also says that no code, but yeah, definitely there will be little bit coding will be there. Like, if you, even though if you are working or not in an IT or any software, but you guys will be knowing about the if condition, right? For example, if the condition, and then if the condition is true, execute this part as this part. So this kind of coding definitely will be there in Appian if you want to perform any logic. Okay. It's very easy to build and run. Yeah, it's, and you don't have to write, like, suppose if you want to execute your code in your desktop, if you want to execute your code on your tab or mobile, you don't have to write a different coding for that one. It's same coding will execute and it will adjust the screens and all according to your devices. So you see this on these are all the interfaces that was designed into the app. Yeah. um Low code, as you say, right? You see these are the companies who has given their feedback. Like say, we are saying that it's a 12-month clinical trial, startup time reduced by 1.5 months. There was certain criteria where the Appian reduced their state of work like 1.5 months. That's how uh, faster the Appian is. And all. So definitely, it's a there's a company called Forrester. They are saying that it's a lower cost, fewer errors, much faster executions, fewer maintenance, and the tasks for the employees, and ultimately better customer experience. So by seeing these fewer errors, why? Because in Appian, if you are designing an interface, right, and if you miss any comma, straight away Appian will give you some notification saying that you are missing a comma at this particular line. And debugging is very easy. Code very low code, and most of the things will be the code will be auto configured, so you don't have to write the code for that one, and there will be no error for those things. Only for a few logics, if you are missing, then there will be some errors, and it also give you the error messages, so you can correct that as well. Market positioning, definitely it's a it gives you process automation. It's a low code and the case management system, everything is include all those things. So only Appian is the only leader in the business production automation, right? So they are providing this automation, low code, and the case management, everything. So market positioning, yes, you see this one, right? Appian is the heading the market from the last 3 years, I'd say. Meanwhile, there was few more BPM tool has arrived, like the Camunda was there, who escalated in the market a bit, but again, in front of Appian, they couldn't survive much. And many companies are using the Camunda, but yeah, I mean, now it seems like the BPM, other BPM projects like Pega, IBPM, they all companies are converting their, I mean, migrating their code from IBPM or Pega to Appian. So there will be a lot of applications are running in the market, which is just doing the migration from one environment to other. Yeah. So where Appian fits, basically, if you want to create a new application to automate your business, you can use Appian. If you want to extend your current system with the new processes, you can use Appian. So if you are using SAP application or UiPath and you want to merge, I mean, you want to migrate Appian within them, you can definitely do that. Appian can be used as a backend process of your front-end applications as well. You can connect, like unify existing applications. If you are using like some other applications, you can, if you want, you can use Appian within them as well, to use some screen or to use some backend process and all those things. Appian fits all those processes. It basically means that Appian allows you to do all kind of migrations as well, and uh, any kind of support you want from the Appian, like only execute the backend process, it will allow you to do that. If you want to migrate with only for the screens, couple of screens, you can do that. So all those things are possible in Appian. Okay, so Yeah, I mean, there's an in every release, Appian releases some new features as well, right? They have artificial intelligence and digital uh, workforces, and also Appian has now recently also started the you know the bots, the robot things, and then automation to do the what do you say that process automation and unify data. You can use artificial intelligence and the digital workforce as well to implement one of the processes. This is one of the example of the screen that Appian looks like. If they have designed, this is a site. So in Appian, it's not like once you will create a site, you will not be having the look and feel wise that you are working on the Appian environment. It will look like you are working as a like it will be URL, right? So it seems like you will be working in one of the web applications. So this is one of the applications example screenshot they have given. It's a site application, so where they have the new employee onboarding dashboard. So these many number of informations you can display easily on the Appian thing. Act on the real data, so you can, Appian is also good at the reporting, so you can see all the graph wise graphical representation is also possible for the Appian. You can display all those data, and you can immediately take an action on the data as well on the screens. So if you want to send some email from the screen, if you want to start a new process on the screen, you can definitely do that. Yeah. Yeah, it's automating any process. If you want to schedule, like suppose if you want to schedule a process model which should be executed every day morning at 5 o'clock without any manual intervention, you can definitely schedule a process. So this is screen, you can see it here, right? These are nothing but the example of the process model screenshot. So these are the screenshots that process model will look like for your application. Obviously, reusable components are there. These, if you see this one, these are the contents like processes are there, analytics, interfaces, AI rules, integrations, everything. So any object, if you are using in Appian, you can build in such a way that you can, if you want, you can reuse those applications very well. Okay, I mean, if your one process model is using for sending an email, and if you want to use that process model at multiple places, you can definitely do that. You can just reuse these objects multiple times. These are the companies that currently, I mean, it's very small. There are like hundreds of more companies are there who is using Appian, and they are very happy about the Appian performance and all. Okay, we'll see how an Appian will look like, and how it's gives. Let me quickly open that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so recently Appian has changed their layout in this current release a lot. Uh, so this is the designer environment. When you log in, if you are a system admin access, you will be logging into this particular page where it says about the what are the application objects you have, and where to create the application, where to develop their objects and all, right? So this is the designer. So I mentioned, right, Appian has one of package, and in the one package they have defined the multiple suites. So this is a design suite. So the in design suite is for the system administrator, where they can create their own applications, and they can create their own uh, objects of those applications. All right, and then if you go to the tempo as a basic user, so there is another suite called tempo. So in this tempo, it will give you the the way, like what are things you can have on the tempo. So we can have the news tab. If something is, any post has been posted on this application regarding your application, you can see on this particular tab. If you have any task assigned to you to perform, you can come to the task tab, and you will be seeing that your task is there, and you can perform action on those tasks. Record and reports, like records are the features where you can see the data regarding to your application. Like suppose if we have any inventory management system, and then you see that people has order how many number of records are there, so you will be seeing all those coming over here. So if you click on this one, you will be redirecting to your record page and seeing all those information uh, for your record. Let me show me another example here. Yeah, so if you click on your record link, you will be redirecting to the summary page of that record, and you will be seeing all those information regarding that particular order ID and when it was ordered, who has ordered, and what are the things they have ordered. So this is a record, and reports is like, and okay, in record also, like suppose if you want to perform any action on the record, okay, I mean on your existing data. So like for example, we have a leave details, right? And these are the existing leave details, and you want to perform any um, action on your data, like if you want to update the leave details, like for here the start date was 18 to 21 and you want to now change it from 21 to 22, you can definitely do that. So record also allows you to take an action on your existing data. Okay, so this is what about the records. Now if you go to the reports, the reports are basically nothing but the graphical representation of your data, how you want to display, what are the information you want to display on the on your page of regarding your application. You can definitely do that. Like if you go for the IMS order, you see this, it's saying that uh, order by status. So how many orders are there which is in approved, how many are rejected, and how many of them are just in submitted status. So you can display your data in your graphical representation as well, and it's order by dates. Like it gives you certain points, like when it was like on like 24th of May, how many orders were there? Only one. 1st of June to 3rd of June is like there were 2 orders, and this is how you can also display information. So there are many other ways, like one of them is a pie chart. If you want to display the order by status in the percentage, you can do that. Like approved was 9%, rejected is around 9%, and submitted is 81%. So there, these are the like pie chart, line chart, and then uh, the pipe chart is there for to display information. And then finally we have the action tabs. In the action tab is basically if you want to trigger a new action for your application, you can come to the action tab and you can do it from here. Like suppose if I want to apply a new leave, or if suppose you want to order something from your inventory, you can just say IMS order. This is an action name of your application. It will show you, okay, these are the list of items are available in your system. What do you want to order? I want to order, let's say, pen. I want to have order of 2 quantity. This is the price added. I want to order and one more item. Let's say copy. I'll say 2 quantity, and I click on add and submit it. So once you submit it, a record will be created for you, and then it will go for, like it went for a manager approval or something that you can define in the backend. So let's go to the designer mode, designer suite. So this is a designer suite. If you remember right now, just we created one order, right? So this is a designer suite. Say application name, inventory management system, and inside that we have a list of the objects that we created for our application purpose. All right, and it also has certain things, like we have the objects. So you can see here it's a build. Under build we can see the list of the objects that we have built, and then deploy. If you want to deploy any object from one environment to another environment, Appian also gives you this feature of deploying DevOps feature included into Appian. You don't have to do manual download and upload, right? So you can do, initially we were doing this download and upload the package file, but now Appian gives you this feature of compare and deploy. So you just select your package, select your environment, and hit the next. It will do the inspection and will deploy the code for you. The third sub tab is called monitor. Monitor is basically to know, is for the developer. Monitor is basically for to know what are the objects, workflows are running inside internally in the backend process. You see this one. So we have triggered this process 20th of June. Today we have triggered this process IMS place order. So this is a process model that we have designed for placing an order. So what happened when we place an order? It started from here. There was an interface included there, and then from there it what it did, it write the data to the order details, it write to the order items, and then it triggers a process. That sub process is for the call manager processes. So that is called the manager process because the request has gone to the manager for approval. If I log in as a manager, and if I'll go to my task, there will be a task for me saying that please approve or reject this order. If you see this form, I mean, basically, I'm opening this form from the backend just to show you. Otherwise, a manager can log in. Once a manager can log in, what they will do, they will take the decision, approve or reject. Based on that, their decision, they can hit submit. If the request is approved, the order, the dispatch of the order will be started, and then the employee who has requested for the items, they will receive it. If they reject, the status will be updated as rejected. So these are the things we know in backend. This is how the process model looks like, and this is how the decision point we take. If action is cancelled, then it will directly come here and all. Okay, so this is how this is how the process model looks like, and this is one of the suite that we have. Okay, so the another suite that we have in Appian is called cloud database. So again, if your customers are not using any third-party database like Oracle or SQL Server or anything, that is fine, because Appian gives you its own database for the handling all those database things. There are, I mean, it's not like that you can only use this one. Uh, Appian can connect with the Oracle, Appian can connect with the SQL Server, MySQL, and what is the inbuilt is called MariaDB. So front end, you will see it will look like your MySQL, but internally it is handling with the MariaDB. So you can create tables, views, procedures, and functions within it. Okay, and if you are using this internal database, it will be definitely faster. But there are certain companies who has their data already in Oracle or in the MySQL Server. So and based on the security purpose measurement also, they want to use that. So you can do that. You don't have to. I mean, you just have to configure once the data stored with your Appian, and then you can use those database as well. And then the one more important suite is called admin console. So admin console is basically in Appian, there are two kind of roles. One is the Appian role with the administrator action, or the user will be system administrator, and the another role is the developer. But mostly they also gives you the system administrator access, but system administrator access only for the users who's like kind of lead of your project, who will be doing all those some certain actions on the admin consoles, like they can set the color of your branding of your page, how it should look like, what's the data retention policy, what are the file can be uploaded to the system. If they want, they can create any users on this application, like if they want to create any users or not, and deployment check, health check, infrastructure, and all those things that can be done for the administration side, that can be done by the Appian leads and all. So these are the four suites we have in Appian, and this is how the Appian will look like. So any questions, any doubt, opening the forum for the questions and the doubts. Then I'll explain the how Appian architecture works. Or you want me to go
Ravi,
through this and then, yeah?
sorry, Vicky here. Actually, my call was disconnected like a couple of times, so I don't know like whether you might have already covered it or not. So first thing is like, is it on the cloud APN or is it some sort of web tool or
No, it's on
desktop?
cloud. I mean, there are two things. There are two ways. I mentioned that it's on cloud and on premise as well. So if you
Hmm.
certain companies are using on premise, so they have to do this installation. For on cloud, it's very easier to use. I mean, just an URL, you go and hit, and then you can use this on cloud.
I mean, even from the functionalities and the options still remains the same, right?
So everything will remain the same. It's just if you want to deploy the new plugin, so there are certain steps to deploy the new plugin. Like if you are using on-premise, so you have to download the plugin and you have to put into the folder, and then you have to restart your server, right? But on cloud, it's very easy. You just go and select the plugin and say download, deploy. It will automatically deploy. Don't have to restart anything. It will be on your system installed. You don't have to do it.
Okay. And
So
second
that's the
thing is like
only, yeah.
sorry, please go ahead.
No, that is the only major difference in the on-premise and on-cloud, the plugin deployment, which is mostly not happen many times, because Appian gives you the most of the available plugins already, whatever it has. Uh, if there are any new plugins that you are not able to find within the Appian, and if you want to install it from the outside, so, and you cannot do the outside plugin first of all. Okay, you can build your own plugin, and you have to send that plugin to the Appian, saying that I have built this plugin. I need to authorize it. They need to authorize it. If they say everything is fine, then only you will be able to use that plugin in your cloud. Like suppose, but in on-premise, if you are building any plugin, you have to, if you know how to create a plugin, if you know how to deploy that, you can definitely do whatever you want to with your plugin. So but on cloud, why they're restricted? Because maybe it's on cloud, if it get installed, it may harm the other people, right? So you need approval from Appian.
Okay. And second thing is like for practicing and all, like, do we have any community edition, like kind of free thing? Or
Yes. So once you will log into the Appian community, I mean, once you register your Appian community, you can also register for your free environments. So the environment that you are looking at, I was showing, right? That's a freely environment provided by the Appian.
okay, so is there any difference between the free ones and the, I mean, the
No, no,
free
no.
trial and all?
Even the free one will be your latest because it's on Appian Cloud, right? So
Mhm.
if there are any updates happen on the Appian Cloud, they deploy all those updates to your free environment as well.
I mean, is there
So
any
that will
time
be your
limit or
latest.
it's a kind of lifetime free kind of?
Initially, it was having only for 45 days, and now they have increased it, and they have given the condition that if you are not working on your free environment for like for 3 days, it will get deactivated. So if you want to
Oh,
execute, if you want to use again, you need to go and you need to activate back again.
okay, got it. And may I know like how long does the training last for? The APM training?
This training can go up to the 30 sessions. So 30 sessions, 20 to 30 sessions are there. So that goes like a month to 1.5 months.
Okay, thank you, Ravi.
No problem.
Hey, I had one question, uh, in majority of the job descriptions along with APN, they ask for the sale code. What does that mean?
I didn't get you.
Hey, whenever you look at any job, job descriptions in LinkedIn or so, along with
Mhm.
APN, they say something called as a sale code. What does that mean? The sale code.
It's nothing but the interface designing,
Oh,
self-assembled, yeah, interface language.
got it. And do you need any kind of a Java experience, related to APN or no?
No, no,
Okay,
nothing.
got it.
But Appian is built in Java only, right? It's uh, the backend and the Appian code. I mean, what I'm saying that Appian application itself is built in Java.
Got it.
Um, so the few logics that you have to mention that will you look like your Java code, like what you are mentioned for if condition. It's similar to the if condition and true and false part, some looping and all.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So as part of this training, I mean, going to cover all the topics like deployment, the production,
Everything. So the only thing
everything.
is that I can't show you the how to deploy, but I can tell you. I mean, I can tell you how to deploy, but showing will be difficult because I first think that we do not have the other environment, and in this practice environment, Appian does not allow you to do the deployment and download the package because let me show you why. It has certain application built in already. Okay, if you go back in the picture screen, they have many application built, just to if you want to, you can walk you through. I mean, you can go through this application and see how the application looks like. So users should not download these packages. So they have restricted you cannot download or upload any packages because it's a free environment, right? And if you upload a certain things which is not good, will not be accepted for the Appian. So they do not allow you to download or upload any packages here. But I will show you how to download and upload. Yeah. It's not that difficult. It's very easy.
Okay. And may I know what is the major difference between this Appian BPM and Pega? Because I mean, I heard like Pega is a leading tool in BPM domain.
Yeah, so Pega was
So
the leading tool in last decade. Why I say because in from the last 7 to 8 years, Appian is getting the market like anything and it's growing enormously, and many people are using Appian. The difference between Pega and Appian is that Pega comes with the different suites. First of all, you have to buy licensing for your all different suites. And second thing is that in UI perspective, Pega has not improved their their coding for the interfaces, but Appian is now coming with a very rich interfaces with a lot of good designing, columns, and you can add images and whatever you want. I just shown you in the example. So it's now comes with a very good example of the screens.
Okay. So Appian
And
is not an
suppose if
open
you want
source
to,
tool, right?
no, it's not an open source. It's a licensing cost is there.
Okay. So,
Yep.
from one last question. From Appian, we can connect to any other integrations like IID, IAB, I mean, uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, definitely. See,
SAP.
uh, how you use the other. So in Appian, we have two objects, the development object called web APIs and integration. Now, if you want to use your is the third-party data in the Appian, like suppose you are using certain Java application and you want to have you have certain database. So how they give your data, their data to access your their data to someone else? They create an API, right? I mean, they create an whistle for you, right? If you hit that whistle, you will get that information with you. So you can use the integration object using that whistle, and you will get the data from the third party within Appian. Similar way, if you want to expose your data to the third party, you can create an API and you can share with them, and an API they can start a process within Appian. They can write a data to the Appian, and they can see any. I mean, if they want to request any data for like user information, they can pull that information as well. So these are the things they can perform using API.
Okay. So there is no limitations, I mean to say, like to
There's no
connect to the
limitations.
external.
Yeah, that's all. And now Appian has also released with it's very new. Even I haven't gone through that for the bots. Robotic process automation is also there. So yeah, and they are enhancing their tool a lot.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, guys, questions? So someone was asking, right, like if they do not have the knowledge of this Appian zero, I mean anything in the coding as well, right? So if they can start it or not. Yeah, definitely you can start it. See, for any development, you the most important thing is that you must understand the data. Okay, if you understand the data from where it is coming, what kind of process you want to do on the data, and from where, to where you need to send that data, right? That's all about the any development is about. It's playing with the data. So once you understand the data, it's very easy to do. And Appians are this is not difficult as like kind of Java or .NET because we have a lot of coding there. It's everything is configuration. You just drag and drop, and it's ready for you. So let me show you one of the examples. So it will clear the things for you guys. Like suppose if I want to create an interface, okay. If I want to create an interface for our application, let's say I want to create a new interface. Okay, I'll just give it a minute. It's fine. Now you think about like suppose if you want to design a form, for your code, how many code you have to write? Uh, I want it gives you certain templates, right? Okay, these are templates. Now suppose if I want to design a form for my application, I just I like this template. I drag it and I select it. This one. Just click on that one. Interface is ready. You see this its interface design is ready. Now I want to have some text field. Go and select the text fields. Search it from your text. So these are text field. I drag it, drop it here. I drag it, drop it here. I again drag it. I want one more text field here. I can drop it here. If you want to change the name of this one, you can definitely do that. Go here and just say name. Okay, and say email, something like this. Okay. So this is how it gets your code drag and drop, right? You don't have to write any code for this one. Now, what about the coding? If you want to do some coding, right, where do you go? You go to the expression mode, and you will see that Appian has created all this code for you. You don't have to write it, right? Now, if you want to put some logic, you can go and you can put some logic here. Okay, like I said, one of the example, right? If, as I mentioned, of if condition, if the length of this one is uh, more than 5 or 7, put some validation. So all those things you can write it here. It's very simple code of the if conditional condition. Okay, so this is how Appian code looks like. Most of the things is designed by the Appian itself. Only the logic part you have to do it by yourself. That's all.